Hi there guys, welcome back to another video. So today I am showing you my recent pickups, not many, but a few. So we'll start off with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. It's a huge fighting game. So many characters. I say so many because it says there's like 123, I think it is, or something like that. But in fact, there's only about 80. But that's still a lot of characters. Really good fun, and I cannot recommend this enough. The gameplay is fantastic. Has a few quirks here and there that take a little bit of getting used to. Like the transformation setup and the special setup. You know, there's certain bits that you have to get used to, obviously. The online's brilliant, but it's just dominated by people who just want to be the strongest characters, obviously, and you don't really have much choice online, and there isn't really a beginner lobby or anything like that, really. So don't play online, I recommend, if you're not very good at fighting games like me. You know, like these fighting games. I mean, I'm good at certain fighting games, but this is very open worldy fighting, and this is not for me to play online. However, I'm still having great fun with the game. If it decides to focus on the game, there we go. I am still having great fun with the game, and I still highly recommend it to anybody who likes Dragon Ball, obviously, because this covers a wide array, and there is more DLC coming for Daima, which is really cool. Daima is actually already included with the game, Goku Daima. So yeah, and I've been really enjoying Daima as well. So definitely pick this up. Next up is the one everybody's been talking about, Space Marine 2, if you can see it. Wow. Space Marine 2, Warhammer 40k, Space Marine 2. This, I played the original very shortly, years and years ago. Didn't really enjoy it that much, maybe because it was just basically a Gears of War clone, and that was pretty much it. With this, it is again just a little bit like a Gears of War clone. However, they do make it more Gears of War / Doom-esque, mainly because of the executions. When you kill something, you earn your life back, you earn your shields back, and you're able to carry on, and it does get very hectic, almost like a horde mode. Very cool. Great game. Cannot recommend this enough. This has been on my watch list to purchase for a very long time since its original launch, and I cannot recommend it enough, I guess. Last one for games is Metaphor Refantasio. This is actually on the Game of the Year list, and I purchased it on the Xbox itself because it's got, well, the physical for the Xbox version for some reason is really hard to find. I found this in a Smith's Toys for £30, and that was on Black Friday, and I couldn't ignore it because they had one copy left in, and I purchased it, and I've been really enjoying it since then. You know, the game looks beautiful. There's a lot of anime that's thrown in there as well. You know, when during the discussions and everything like that, there's a lot of anime. It's really beautiful. Gameplay's really good, obviously, as well, with the different options that you can do. We're not going to show you that because I haven't actually redeemed that. You know, the gameplay itself is really cool. It is very turn-based, which a lot of people don't like. However, you can go into, it's basically like any other Persona game. You can attack the characters launching into a fight, and you've already got the upper hand on them, etc, etc. Still, really enjoying this game. I actually thought this wasn't in the box, but it turns out I don't have anything in the drawers. But Metaphor itself is fantastic. Cannot recommend it enough. Again, 3 fantastic games that I cannot recommend. I cannot recommend enough at all. I do need to play more of Metaphor and Space Marine because I kind of just stopped at a certain point because I've just been so busy recently. So Space Marine 2, definitely. Metaphor, definitely. Metaphor, definitely, because there's hundreds of hours that can go into this game. Hundreds of hours. So yeah, and looking at all these characters, it does strike me that maybe you can get a lot of characters in. I don't know. We'll find out. Anyway, these two definitely need more hours. That has already got a lot of hours into it. Anyway, moving on. next thing that I got was Godzilla -1. So this, actually, all the anime themselves that make this version of the movie advise that this doesn't exist. Basically, they released a steelbook version, a collector's edition, and a super collector's edition. So you started off at about £60, £80, and like £120, something like that. And said that this version on their own Facebook, that it doesn't exist. Well, what do I have in my hand? It is just the 4K version, just the 4K version. Like, I don't understand why they said this doesn't exist. This is exactly what I want. Godzilla -1, 4K. Now all I need is Godzilla X Kong, and I have all the Godzillas ever. So I'm really happy about that. However, Godzilla -1 is a fantastic movie. I went and saw this in the cinema. I do want to watch it again in black and white. I actually don't know if this has the black and white version on it. I don't think it does. I think this just has the original cut, which is quite disappointing. I would imagine the steelbook version does have the black and white version. We'll find out. I might put this in and see what you get with it. However, the movie itself is fantastic. Really glad that it's going to be getting, maybe it's a sequel, maybe it's not a sequel, I don't know, but we'll find out eventually. But incredible version of Godzilla, and I cannot recommend anyone to buy this enough. Again, this version for some reason doesn't exist through all the anime themselves. I had to purchase this through HMV, who was super cheap with it. I think it was like 16 quid, something like that. Really cheap for what it was. And yeah, even the steelbook was even cheaper through HMV. I am finding HMV are a lot better with stuff at the moment that all the anime themselves should be putting out. My Witch from Mercury set that I picked up was actually from HMV as well. That really all the anime should have had. So a little bit weird. So yeah, Godzilla -1. Nice to add that to my collection of Godzilla movies. And the last thing that I got is, I can open it properly because for some reason I've decided to zip it up. I got this for dirty cheap. It was a Xbox Series 2 Elite controller I got this for £50. I think it was £50. Basically, the reason why it was so cheap is because the rubber is slightly coming away at the corners. A little bit here and a little bit there. So the guy just didn't want it anymore. But it came with everything. It was actually listed as just this, basically, just this set. And that was pretty much it. It even showed a couple of things missing here. But then when I got it, it actually had the original box and the cabling, and all of this was here. There was a few bits that were obviously attached to the back of here, but this is just been perfect for me, like really perfect, because I needed a new controller, and this has been fantastic. I cannot say enough about this controller for what it was. £50. I think it was 48 or something like that after the discount, but this was fantastic for me. All disconnects, all pulls apart. It's really cool. You can have the different program sets that's on there. I'm sure you can find out a proper review for it, because I can't really think at the moment about what to say about this, but it does run you off USB-C, does run through the charger of either through that or through the USB-C. Personally, I like to have that sat in there, then you can run a USB-C cable into the back of there. Ironically, the USB-C cable that comes with it doesn't actually fit into the gap there. I don't know why. It isn't a lineup issue, because this is actually a giant magnet at the bottom, so this is always lined up like 95% of the time. So there you go, it's lined up, and then you can see there it's lined up. So you really, the cable should just slot in, and that's pretty much it. However, as another alternative, you can just take this out and have it plugged in and just sat on your desk or something, which I think eventually, once I get completely sorted, I will do that, because having this is not the best. Maybe it is for travelling, because I use it to take it to my friends, but Yeah, another thing that has been super cheap, and that's really marked, been super cheap and been super useful for me, for an Elite Series 2 controller that has been very cheap and very cool, and it obviously has everything that I need. But I think eventually this will start to fade away because I can see the rubber is starting to give away a little bit on the corners here, and a little bit on the corners there, and a little bit on the corners there. So eventually it will give up. But I do have hot glue, so there's that. The sticks in these should be a little bit better. The thing that held me off buying this initially, for the original price, I think I was looking at one at about 150, which is why I ended up looking for one in the first place. I think I was looking at one at 150, but the thing that put me off was the sticks that's under here are the exact same as the normal controller. Like they're literally the same. The only strong difference is obviously this is a stronger D-pad, better buttons, better, these are metal instead of being plastic. Nice stuff. These are the exact same. The thick sticks are the exact same. They're not hollow point. They're just the cheap plasticky ones that need replacing eventually. And there isn't any specific way to get into this controller apart from underneath the rubber. And that is what ruins these controllers, because the sticks die and people cannot be bothered to peel this because it will never go back on. So it is not the best repairability for these for this really. The back of it, as you can see, just to throw this in here, these are the buttons that you actually end up pressing with your little paddles. You got your hair points that are there as well, so you got 3 different sets of hair points. I'm really enjoying using this, and as you can see, it does say Elite Series 2. So yeah. Anyway guys, that's everything for today. This was just a brief video because I don't really have any other videos that are coming out. I was hoping to have a Christmas video out because I've got 2 parcels coming from All the Anime and MVM for the mystery boxes, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get those out. Maybe I'll show you guys them in the future of what I got, but otherwise that's pretty much it. Anyway guys, thanks a lot for watching, and if this stops messing up, I'll see you later. Peace. Bye.